Join me in welcoming Robert Augustine. Hey, Robert, how you doing today?
I'm doing great today. It's a good day to be alive and serving. So,
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about you and your background.
well, I have had a lot of years in the financial industry. My stepfather was a speaker all over the country in financial business. It was called USPAIRA. He gave me a lot of knowledge. I spent 21 years in the Army, and when I got out, I decided to get into retirement and insurance with folks. And that's when I found out this gap in how to get people out of debt. Earlier, in between some breaks of service, I was with a mortgage company for 5 years. I was a realtor and involved in those agencies. And what I found very often is people were not prepared. And so in every job I've been in, I've been working on helping people rebuild their credit and also put aside the money and understand how money works. And so today it just came to pass that the frustration of watching America, $16 trillion in debt, just drove me crazy. And so I tried out a couple of these programs with the insurance companies, but what I found is they wanted to charge the agent and the client thousands of dollars to do it. And so about the third one, I looked at the guy and says, you know what, I just became your new competition. So I went out and did the research and paid some professionals, spent about $50K on the business, and put together this package that I have for the book and also a program that will get you out of debt, including your mortgage, in about 8 years. Not paying anything more than you do currently.
Wow, that's amazing. Including your mortgage, not paying any
Yeah.
more than you do.
Yes.
All right. So talk to us a little bit. We're going to go into some detail about it, but talk to us a little bit about just what does it mean to be financially free and how much different a person's life can be if they were.
Well, when you're busy making payments to everybody, then what you're doing is you're building their retirement, but not your own. And so with our system, we help you pay them off and then take that same debt or the same payment that you were paying and put it towards your retirement. Because when you borrow money, you're robbing yourself of your future lifestyle and your retirement.
What should a person's lifestyle look like when they're in retirement?
But you should be able to do pretty much whatever you want to. The goal is to not just get by, but to live comfortably. Very often when we set people up on this budget, they'll end up with over $1 million, and then they can live off the interest payments. I also recommend that they put it in a fund that's not taxable, something like a whole life policy, so that what they're doing is they're borrowing money from their own money. It continues to make money, but they get tax-free money to live off of.
I know a lot of people like myself, I'm 54, would immediately think, well, it's too late for me. When is it ever really too late?
No, it certainly isn't. I mean, certainly the first goal is that debt-free, but also having a plan of when you want to. I've added in the book 35 different examples of businesses that you can create on your own time. And let's start off with $5 a day and build it on beyond that point so that you can accelerate your payoff and get that money into retirement. I really like what Robert Kiyosaki said. He said that you need to build assets, and assets make money when you aren't making money. So I have a portion in the book that talks about that, and am available to be able to talk to people about that plan.
That's awesome. So what about for a person that's already retired? Like, for example, my mom is going to turn 83 this year. Is it too late for her to improve her lifestyle?
No, I don't think so. It's a matter of budgeting and knowledge, and that's really going to have to be on a case by case basis where I can look at where she is and do that. As an example, if anybody has a mortgage, just as an example, if you had a $200,000 mortgage at a rate of 6% or lower, you're going to pay $400 and some $1,000 for that home by the end of it. So our goal is to get that paid off early by paying on the principal. So that would improve her lifestyle. Having just better use of the funds and protecting your life and having tax-free money would be the route I would look at.
That's amazing. So much like asking you which of your children is your favorite, what is your favorite part of the book?
Well, it's just opening people's eyes to see how the banks and other lenders are taking us to the cleaners. When it comes to a mortgage and credit cards, they've taught us that it's better to buy it now on credit, and then we'll have everything we want. But in reality, now we're jammed with payments and we can't live like we want to. And so that's really the favorite part of that. Is my goal is to go across America and make sure that people understand how that works, so how money works. Instead, money should work for you instead of for somebody else.
And the book is called The Ultimate Guide to Financial Freedom. Teach us a little bit. What is something that a person could do right now to begin to become financially free?
Well, one of the things I always have is people that look for the things that they spend that are really, they have no idea. So if you budget and you look at your checking account or your debit card and you see all the money that goes out towards coffee or towards drinks, and I'm not saying stop living, but you can trim that down and look at it and really, but nobody really does that. Maybe annually and more often is to break down your budget and put down your goals so you have something to work with. Some people have to put their money in envelopes, cash, and then they spend it when they're out of the cash, then they just stop spending. But when you have a debit card, you just stick that thing in the machine and you buy it, and then you're in a bind. So it's more about thinking about that and thinking of ways to build assets. And so people think that their home is an asset, but it's only an asset if they plan to sell it when they retire. Because otherwise, it's really just a liability because you're always going to be upkeeping. So it's just a frame of mind, really, that we need to change.
So would you say that's the number one thing that people find themselves keeping themselves from being financially secure is that all those little things that they're spending money on, or is there another thing that
well, really it's, oh, I'm sorry. So and if you're using credit cards to purchase and you have a balance, then you're never going to get ahead. You'll spend 35 years on that one. But that and just finding a way to invest in yourself, no matter how much it is, start somewhere with 10% and putting it into a fund that's protected, that's not part of the roller coaster stock market, but put it in an index that runs off the stock market but is not affected if it goes below their principal. That's a great one. And you can do that with a whole life, universal life, and annuities. I know those all have bad names in the past, but there are a lot of good plans. That's why I went into the industry to find out what's really going on and just, talk to somebody that you trust and find a better way to put your money in there. You're not going to make any money off of your savings account or your money market. You need something that's going to do a little better than that, but not risk the principal. And so that's the avenues I would go to.
That's such a good piece of advice. And if somebody wants to work with you to get their insurance policies and stuff like that set up, can you work in all 50 states?
I have decided to not stay in the insurance business and renew my license because I found a bigger need. So they can't get life insurance and they can't invest money in the life insurance unless they get out of debt. And so I decided that I would go the other avenue. So I would just recommend someone to them that they can trust. That's just the best thing to do. All 50 states is too much to keep track of.
For sure. Just the licensing alone will bury you.
Yes, sir. You're right.
So for a person who does want to work on getting out of debt, can they contact you? How would they go deeper with you?
So they can, if they go to there's a couple of different websites that they can go to. If they go to Robert Augustine Financial, so the Augustine is AUGUSTINE, and then Financial, FINANCIAL, ANCIAL.com. The book you can purchase there also, not just on the other sites, but it has a link to where you can sign up for a membership to what we do. Is we have a Facebook group and other groups where we learn from each other, and I have weekly meetings on there. Or they can just contact me there and email me. You can email me at Robert Augustine 2016@gmail.com, and we'll set something up.
I love it. The book is called The Ultimate Guide to Financial Freedom. Robert, paint a picture for us as we end up here about what life should look like versus what it typically does these days.
You shouldn't have to worry about buying things. You shouldn't have to worry about a vacation. And so you can afford whatever you need because you have no payments. And so then you can go on trips, you can travel. You don't have to say, oh, I'm going to have to get another job later because I'm running out of money. You should just have money coming in, residual income or some kind of static income, so you don't have to worry. I wouldn't depend on Social Security being there forever. There's not much money left in there, but have a good plan where you can buy whatever you want and you're not worried that it's going to run out if you live past 80. And what I hate to see is I like to see people work at Walmart or somewhere like that are greeters because they want to work, but you shouldn't have to work. And so that's the difference there, is that you can purchase whatever you need and live without worry of you're going to run out of money.
So much more that you need to learn from Robert. You can go to robertaugustinefinancial.com and go deeper with him. And of course, you can get the book, The Ultimate Guide to Financial Freedom. Yes, Robert, sir. I really appreciate you spending some time with us here today.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm glad to talk with anybody anytime. My goal is that America is debt-free and people can live the way we were meant to live, which is with financial freedom.